Hello everyone, how are you? Today is Tuesday. As we know, every Tuesday and Thursday I will be giving you guys a video from now on. So I'm really excited to get consistent with you guys. We know YouTubers, we got lives, it get reels out in these streets, but I want to be real more consistent with doing these videos with you guys. So every Tuesday and Thursday you will see a video. I hope you guys been enjoying me and Crystal's series. As you can see, we had 3 so far. We have 2 more, so I will be posting that video that I typically will have on Thursday. That will be another one of our videos, which would be the 4th one. And then next week I have another video, and then the last video that we will have. So I hope you guys been enjoying the herpes, single, celibate, and dating videos. I hope they have really been a blessing to you guys. Yay! I'm so happy you called alive. So yes, if you want to catch lives, as y'all know, I do not do pre-recorded videos. I don't like doing pre-recorded videos. Me and Crystal did those because we were going to do a live, and then we decided, you know what, we're just going to do multiple videos. So then we just recorded multiples. But I like lives better so I can talk to you guys. You guys can ask questions, things like that. It feels like I'm sitting in front of y'all on FaceTime. So I really like lives more than anything. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you put on your notifications so you can catch when I jump on lives. As you know, you can always look at the replays, but as y'all know, every Tuesday and Thursday I will be here. So just let y'all know, this Tuesday, hey, you see me, it's live. This Thursday, it's going to just be a recording. And then next Tuesday will be a live. And next Thursday is going to be a recording. And then after that, it's going to be lives until I let you guys know anything different. Thank you. You are amazing as well. So, guys, I kind of just want to reintroduce this herpes thing. You know, I've been talking about herpes for 2 years now. As y'all know, my first video was what I learned after, or what I learned after contracting herpes, or what I learned after. And that video, and I would love to talk about this, because this video, when I did this video, guys, I really wasn't an activist then. I was just like, you know what? I just want to share my story. By that time, I had been reaching out to people and talking to people in support groups. I was still getting to a point of accepting myself. Yes, I was married at that time. Yes, I had children. But at that time, I was still accepting it, but I knew I wanted to come out and really help people do it. So a lot of y'all I have people always like, that information is not true, and what she said is not all the same, and you know, it just seemed like she leaving out information, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell y'all, that video was in 6 minutes. I was trying to get on and get off because I was terrified to do that video. That was my first video ever. So I know it was a lot of like, oh my gosh, she left out a lot of information. But I just wanted to get my story out. And as y'all know, over the years, y'all have really got to know me. Y'all been getting more information about their story and things like that. But that video, simply, I'm not telling you, simply is telling my point of view of what happened, what I learned after, the things that I learned at that given moment, how I felt after that, things like that. As we know, over time, you learn more. I meet so many people who have had herpes for 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, whatever, and still don't know anything about herpes because, as we know, it's not much information out here. And what tends to happen is we find out we have the virus and we just don't even want to think about it. Or you'll be that person who just dive in and like literally YouTubing it out and Googling it out and WebMDing it out and all that stuff like that, and, you know, calling your doctor and stuff like that. But we got to understand, people who have contracted herpes, I'll say for me, 8 years and back, we didn't have YouTube, guys. We did not have YouTube. We had Yahoo. We didn't have Google. You know, whoever's contracting herpes now, you're in good standing. Because at the end of the day, all the information you have now is because it's more acceptable to you. We didn't have any of this. You had your doctor and a stupid pamphlet and whatever you can find online. And the stuff online was so outdated. It was really people's opinions. Really, people who had herpes wasn't really talking about it and things like that. So I want you guys to know that you're in a better situation and know way more about herpes coming out the door than anybody else who contracted the virus years ago. Just for me, like 9 years back, like, and more. we didn't have all this. YouTube just came about good and really start popping now. And I was in college. And that's when YouTube really came about. I was still around with MySpace before Facebook really came out for real. So with that being said, guys, I want y'all to understand the information is here, and I want y'all to take the time to educate yourself. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. And I know it's very frustrating at times because it seems like it's not enough information. Many times you don't feel like your answers are valid. Sometimes you don't feel like the answers is enough. And I'm going to tell you why. They're not enough because they can only tell you as much as they research. And that's it. And as we know, research is not that much for herpes. So, what you see is very much general information. A lot of that information is, it varies person to person. As we know, herpes is person to person. Everybody do not have the same symptoms. The outbreaks don't look the same. Some people have people don't have outbreaks. Some people have a lot of outbreaks. Some people have no outbreaks. So I want you guys to understand that herpes is different for everybody. And that goes into this video today. What is herpes? My whole thing, herpes is a skin-to-skin contact virus. Simple. It's chickenpox. Truthfully, like literally, if y'all know how chickenpox functions, that's how herpes functions. It's most contagious when you see it, and it's also can be contagious when you don't see it. But my whole thing is I want y'all to understand that it's very hard to prevent a person from getting herpes. Okay, and I'm going to say this, and y'all going to be like, please, I don't want to hear this. But all of us, we have no clue when we got it. Some of us are able to pinpoint, and I'm lucky for you. You're able to pinpoint because you got tested prior, and then, you know, as soon as you got tested, you kind of like tracked who you was having sex with, things like that. But most people, even if you didn't have that many sexual partners, can't really pinpoint because it could have happened so long ago, and you never had an outbreak, or you had outbreaks and they were so mild, like pimples and abrasions and, you know, quote unquote jock itch or chafing or a rash because you shaved and all that stuff. So you didn't think anything of it, or you just thought it was for friction from sex. So you were like, oh, it's no big deal. It's nothing. And it tends to go away within the next couple of days or a week or whatever. And you're like, well, it's not that bad. It's nothing else going on. We all believe that herpes are blisters, and that's what we see online. And I want y'all to understand that herpes is not just blisters. It's just not, guys. I want to keep saying this over and over and over. It's not just blisters. Most of us don't have blisters and cuts and all that stuff. We have a cluster of bumps sometimes. Some people only have one bump. Some people have a cut. Some people just have swollen lymph nodes. Some people just have the excruciating burning sensation in their legs and their backs. Some people, their skin feel all creepy crawly and all this stuff like that. So I really want the people who are coming on the channel today who just found out they have herpes or think they have herpes, most important, my people who think they have herpes, is not the same. And what do I tell y'all all the time? If you come into my inbox, what did I tell you? Go get tested, because it's nothing else you can do. When I had my outbreak that time, I had a strong feeling it was herpes. But guys, it's other things out here. It could have been genital warts for all I know. I don't know. My whole thing is it's other things. As we know, genital warts has bumps and things of that nature. Yes, it looks a little bit differently, but like I said, everything looks different on other people. So it could have been something else. But what did I do? I took the time and I went to go get tested. So my whole thing is I need y'all to get tested. If you believe that you have herpes, you need to get tested. It's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Now, if you want to, and I don't suggest this and I don't condone it, then act like you don't need to go get tested. But if this is what you want to do, then treat yourself like you have herpes if you want to. Treat yourself like you got herpes if you want to, and do what you feel like you need to do if you think you have herpes. But I think that just don't make any sense for you to believe that you have something you don't have it. You won't believe that you have cancer. You're going to go find out if you have cancer. So why would you not treat this the same way? I know it's so many ladies and men who think they have herpes and they don't have it. They don't have it. They ain't never been tested in their life. Honestly, I think it's absolutely ridiculous for you to think, oh, I think I have it, and never get tested because you're scared to get tested. Guys, stop doing that. It's so unnecessary. Like, just go get tested. It's better to go get tested and find out you don't have it and live on than have it, think you have it, and then you feel like your life is in shambles. So many people think their life is in shambles, but they don't even have the virus. Please, anybody who had the virus, tell them right now, go get tested and find out for sure. This is not even the emotions you even want. This is not even a headache that you want at times. Yes, we're able to live a regular life over time, but tell them, go get tested. Like literally everybody, post right now. go get tested, go get tested, go get tested, because there's no point in thinking that you have something. Don't think. No, for a fact. So just wanted to kind of like get that out my chest, because I see that a lot, and it bothers me that you think that you have something and you will not take the time to find out if you do. That is crazy. I'm sorry. That is crazy. You don't want to have to live with something or believe you're living with something and don't live with it because of a test. It's better to find out than not to find it at all. So, as we know, herpes is skin-to-skin contact, guys. Skin-to-skin contact. So, in the midst of that skin-to-skin contact, that includes your mouth. So, as we know, type 1, quote-unquote, or type 2, quote-unquote, because we know both types can go oral or genital. So mouth, you know, upper mouth, lower mouth. Some people have it here. Some people have it at the crest of their lips. Some people have it on their nose. Some people have it right here. Some people even have it on their cheeks, okay? I'm telling you this and I'm showing you this because I want y'all to know that the outbreaks can be in different locations. Because a lot of people are like, well, I'm not sure if that's an outbreak. And it could be, okay? So here in the nose area, it can be in this area under the nose, around the mouth, here, around here. Some people in their mouth, it can be inside their mouth down here, in the back of their mouth, on the side of their mouths. Some people, it's like closer down by their back of their neck, you know, going down your throat. It could be back there as well. But if it's in your mouth, guys, and I'm going to tell you this, if it's in your mouth, you need to make sure it's not a canker sore. Canker sores and blisters, like herpes outbreaks, look a lot alike. Canker sores are white and they got like a circle around it. It looks totally different. You can go into Google and you can see the picture of it. It looks totally different. I don't want you guys to think, oh my God, I think I have herpes in my mouth, and it's nothing but a canker sore. And we get canker sores from putting stuff in our mouths, simply, you know, putting our hands in our mouths, just germs in general, a canker sore. And the thing about it, for anybody who get outbreaks in their mouths, it is not much you can do. It's sucky, but it's not much. The only thing you can do is gargle with salt water, things like that constantly. Take your antivirals, or if you do a oregano or whatever your natural remedies are. But most importantly, that kind of got to go, because we know with outbreaks, the most important thing is what? Keep it dry as possible and let it air out, and make sure you let it crust over or whatever you want to call it. But you want it to dry out quick as possible. The quicker it dries out, the quicker it heals. But it's in our mouths. Our mouths constantly is wet. That's going to take a little bit longer if the case. But as we know, salt strips out the moisture. So salt water is nothing wrong with that. Warm salt water, gargle a little bit, but make sure it is not a canker sore. I don't want you to think, and I have many people who come to me like, oh my God, Belize, what do you think this is? What do you think that is? And I was like, baby, that could be a canker sore. It looks like a canker sore to me. But we got to also understand that things look different on different people. And I feel like if you know you have ever had any outbreaks in your mouth, to treat it as such sometimes, because you don't want to assume that it's not and it is, and then you don't want to see if it is and it's not. But I just say, at the end of the day, make sure you know what a canker sore look like. So when you look in your mouth, you're like, oh, that's nothing but a canker sore. Let me gargle some salt water, whatever. I just say, take the time, if you know you get them inside your mouth, to know what they look like. Take a picture of it so you're very aware of what your stuff look like. I'm not telling you to look at it all day, but I'm trying to tell you, you need to know what it looks like so you know what to expect. So when it comes up, you know for a fact what it is, okay? So, as we know, it's around the mouth. It can be on the chin, it can be on the cheeks, it can be under the nose, things of that nature. Now, I have heard some people say they had it on their neck. I've heard people say they had it like on their breast. I've heard people that had it on their stomach, on their inner thighs, on their buttocks. So on the top of their butt. Some people have it like kind of on their spine. Yeah, we're moving down to the genital area. Some people have it like under their butt, like in the crease of their butt. Some people have it in the middle, like where your butt touch. They don't have it there. Also people who have it on their anus, which can be very, very irritating and itchy. Very, very itchy. I have had it there and it's very, very itchy, Jesus Christ. Also for men, it can be on the shaft of his penis. It can be in between. So when he pulled the skin down, it can be in between there. That's most important for guys. That's typically where it is for you guys, on the shaft or in between that skin. Also, it can be within men's pubic hairs. As well, and for women as well, it can be in our pubic area. It can be on our labia. It can be in our clitoris area. It can be inside of our vagina. Some women don't believe it can be inside your vagina. Yes, it can be inside of your vagina as well. And it could be on the outskirts of your vagina as well. Like where your vagina is, and then like in between the crease leg there. It can be there and inside your legs as well. So I'm telling y'all all this for y'all to know. On top of that, it can get on y'all hands, okay? And I know that scares y'all, but I gotta tell y'all, you can get herpes on your hands. You can get herpes in your eyes. Also, herpes can go to your brain. But as we know, a lot of this stuff is rare. It can happen on the hands. It happens in the eyes, especially if you're, most of the time, a lot of this happens, especially for the hands and the mouth. I mean, the hands and the eyes is when you're not aware of what herpes is. You know, like when you first get a blister or a cut on you, you're like, what you do? You pick at it and you're touching on it and all this stuff, and you don't know any better. You know, we all do that. We don't know any better. You don't wash your hands and you stick your hand all in your eye, and then you stick your hands all, and you rubbing your hands all in, you got cuts all on your hand, all of this stuff. So I just want you guys to know, most of the time when those things that to that extreme happen, it's because you don't know, not because you're aware. If you know you have herpes, you know to make sure every time you have an outbreak or whatever, you wipe yourself or whatever you may be doing, or if you're cleaning your area or whatever, that you automatically wash your hands with warm soap and water and you're good. But people who don't know that tend to spread the virus, you know, spread the virus on other parts of their body. And yes, you can spread the virus to yourself, okay? I'm not lying. You can spread it to yourself if you don't know any better. And this goes into the I don't know. And I know a lot of us like, well, you know, that happened because you right. It happened to you because you did not know those things. And let's be honest, a lot of this stuff is not shared on one central page. You can go to CDC, and I love it because CDC is doing so much better with the information they're giving now. If you haven't seen it, go to it now, and it gives way more information than it did just a couple of years ago. But like I said, you know, sometimes you're looking for a certain question to be answered and you may not find it, and you'll go onto another site and voila, the answer is there because somebody who have it is giving this insight. So you can pass it to yourself, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You can. It is very possible to pass it to yourself. That's why it's very important when you're having an active outbreak. I mean, like literally you're having blisters, cuts, or whatever your your outbreak look like. If at that time, make sure you wash your hands. And I'm not telling you to put on gloves and all this other stuff. Now, one thing I will suggest, if you really want to be safe, is use Q-tips, guys. Use Q-tips, things of that nature. You can do things like that and make sure you automatically throw those in the trash. Still wash your hands. Do not neglect washing your hands. It's very important to wash your hands and things of that nature. But Q-tips, use Q-tips if you do not want to use your hands. For my individuals who are having excessive washing of their hands, you're going to cause issues for your hands later. As we know, our skin has protectors, and we touch stuff all day long. You're gonna mess around and get another type of bacteria, virus or something like that because we touch doors and all this other stuff. And people are nasty, y'all. People are nasty, and the first thing we always do is put our hands in our face all the time. And now you're washing your hands constantly because you're thinking, I touched myself, I'm putting my hands all over myself, and I'm gonna give it virus to myself. I'm educating y'all, but I'm also helping y'all because a lot of you guys are hurting yourself. You are causing yourself your own demise, and you're putting yourself more at risk because you think washing your hands every 2 seconds all day long is going to change the fact that you have the virus. I love you. It's not going to remove the virus out of your body. Okay? It's just not. I want you to, I know it's hard, and I'm really understanding that it's hard, but I'm trying to tell you that behavior can open up other doors for you. It can open up other doors because now you don't have a protectant on your skin. You're breaking down your protectant. You're causing cuts all in between your hair. You're messing up your cuticles, girl. Come on, don't mess your nails up. You know, you're messing up your hands. And if you work with your hands, you know, to say if you have a heavy duty job, now you're really putting your hands at risk of causing some injuries, guys. So please, if you are at a point in your life where you're like washing your hands essentially, please deal with what the real issue is. You are just scared and you need answers. And my whole thing, get the answers. Just simply get the answers. Washing your hands every day is not going to give you any answers. Simply reach out to me. Watch my YouTube. If you have certain questions you feel like I still haven't answered, please reach out to me and I will help you. And y'all know how to reach out to me. The information is below. So I want to talk about that because I see a lot of people do that and it gets very excessive. Also, for the people who are cleaning toilets every 2-3 seconds, who like literally throwing all the clothes in the washing machine after you touch it, or wash your body and things like that, like cleaning your tub 1,000 times. Yes, clean your tub because nobody want to get in the dirty tub after you. But I'm just saying, guys, it's skin to skin contact. Listen, Okay, I'll answer you in a minute. So my whole thing is skin to skin contact. Skin to skin contact. You're not going to pass it from a towel. You're not going to pass it from soap. Okay? You're not going to pass it from those things. You're not going to pass it from a toilet. You're not going to pass it from a hot tub or a pool or clothes. Guys, it's skin to skin contact. So while we're talking about this, a lot of y'all are probably thinking, Bliss, but can I pass it through a straw or utensils? Yes, that risk is there. This is the reason why I'm going to tell you, and please listen to me before you kind of like have a heart attack. Please listen. Please, like we used to say at church, I'm listening. Okay, please listen before you freak out. Okay, the risk is there, and the risk is very low. If you are oral, this is for people who have oral. If you have genital, do this. If you have genital herpes, do this. If you only have outbreaks in your genital, do this. You shouldn't be listening to me. I'm talking to the individuals who have only oral outbreaks. I mean, you physically have outbreaks. I'm not talking about, oh, I ain't never had an outbreak and I got tested and they told me. No, I'm not talking about you. They telling you have type 1. I'm not talking about you. Close your ears too. I'm talking about the people for a fact you know you have cold sores, fever blisters on your mouth. You're the ones who need to be listening to me, okay? Y'all listen to me right here. So when this happens, my whole thing, if you're having a cold sore, it is some liquid. The liquid, just like any other virus, it comes in your saliva. My whole thing, that on the straw, somebody drink after you, that puts them at risk of getting the virus, okay? That's why we hear all the time, don't share drinks, things of that nature, blah, 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 blah. That's even with a common cold or anything. Because if that person has that virus in their body, it's in their saliva, quote unquote, you can pass that virus easily because it's going through another, what do you want to call it, host, quote unquote. So my whole thing, if you're having an active outbreak, no, don't share utensils. No, don't drink after anybody or let anybody drink after you at that time because that person is at risk. It's not guaranteed that they're going to get it, but it is a risk there. And I have looked at the research because I researched it too. And I was like, you know what? I really want them to clear this up and for them to understand it is a risk there. You'll hear no sometimes and you hear yes there because the risk is very low. But I like to tell y'all the truth. The risk is there. So the best thing to do is when you know you're having an outbreak, people who have outbreaks on their mouths, when you haven't, do not share any, don't let anybody eat after you. Don't let anybody drink after you. And simple, you wash your stuff off and you move on. That's it. Just because they use that a utensil later the next day and you don't wash it, it's fine. The virus is going by then. You don't use soap and water and you don't do what you need to do. But I wanted to clear that up because I hear so many people kind of super scared about that. And I want y'all to understand that's only for the people who have oral. This has nothing to do with anybody who have genital anything. This is only oral outbreaks. And like I say, anybody, I'm just being honest, nobody really want to share any drinks when we going through that. You don't want to share anything with anybody because you're just scared. So I would just simply say don't share it at all. And after that, you're absolutely fine. Okay? Just wanted to clear that up. It is a small risk there. You could do your research. Like I said, they don't say it's guaranteed. I have looked at literally research documents. I didn't look at somebody just sharing the information. I looked at research documents with a set group and things of that nature. And they said the risk is low, but it's there. And y'all, same thing with shedding. The risk is there. We just don't know when the risk takes place. Okay? So that I wanted to clear up. Also, I want to clear up for my individuals who kind of like, well, have genital herpes. Can I kiss people? Yes, you have genital herpes. Your mouth has nothing to do with your genitals. Nothing at all. Many of us believe if I have one, I automatically have the other. That's not true. You'll have to get tested, and tested will tell you if you have type 1 and type 2. But truth be told, who knows where it is? Because most of us, many people, I'm not going to say most, many people don't have outbreaks in both locations all the time. Some people have that set location that they have it. Now, I'm not going to say it's some people who have it on their mouth and their genitals. I haven't met many. I'm going to be honest. I have not met many. I've talked to thousands of people. But they have both. For me, I have both. When I first found out, I had type 2. Last year after getting my divorce or leaving my husband, I found I had type 1. Okay. Then I had that at first. end up having type 1. As we know, type 1 is so common. Honestly, type 1, and let's be honest, like, and y'all may not want to hear this, but type 1 is really not considered an STD at all. It's really genital herpes. Like, when y'all think about it, when y'all go look up y'all research, what did y'all find? Genital herpes. You barely hear them talk about type 1 because they don't really consider it as an STD at all. They believe, you know, it happens because you're kissing people, you know, or you're kissing family members, and we don't look at that as sexual. We look at that as intimacy or affection to somebody that we love and that we're close to. So type 1 is really not considered that. It's only herpes. Genital herpes is really just considered the STD, not type 1. Like oral herpes is not considered an STD. And I think it's kind of crazy, but I feel like it's crazy because your mouth is considered, it can be used as a sexual tool. Okay, so I feel like at the end of the day, it still should be considered a little bit to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, based off our amazing organizations, they stated that they don't really consider that. And that's why when you guys go into the doctor's office and they tell you have type 1, they're like, oh, no big deal, everybody has that, blah 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 blah. Because truth, a lot of people do have it and they don't know they have it, and they were like, oh, you could have got it from a family member, something like that. And that's true. A lot of people did get it from a family member and end up performing oral sex on you, and then they gave you genital herpes. That's exactly what happened, you know. But genital herpes is the one that really have the nasty stigma behind it. It's not really type 1. Let's really think about it. I can go and say, man, I get cold sores all the time. They're like, me too. You know, it ain't no big deal. I get them when it's cold outside. But if I tell them that I have genital herpes, everyone's like, oh my God, you're the plague, you know, type thing. So I feel like it's just the lack of information there, and I feel like it goes into what the doctors feel like is important. They don't feel like that was important because that is just with natural human connection or interaction. And genital is more of a something that you chose to do on your own. It was selected. It was, you know, orchestrated on your own. It's a choice. But the one with your family, it's like, that's my family. I'm going to love on my family. I'm going to do this. This is something I have to do because we're a family, but sex is not required. Okay, they said like that's more of a choice. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up as well. Anybody have any questions? Let me give y'all time to ask any questions based off the information that I have shared so far. It said, yo, Belize, why did you stop trying to detox it? It's totally possible when you get into the science of it. True, my doctor laughed and told me it will be all right when he said I had type 1 still. Was scared as F for a while. Understandable. My whole thing is, I'm going to be running with y'all. I never tried to cure myself. Ever. 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 And let me tell y'all why. If y'all ever watched my herpes cured, I kind of told y'all. It never was a concern to me. And let me tell y'all why. It was never a concern because it was never an option. Literally, when I found out, I was in college. I was broke as hell. And I could not afford nothing, no way. I'm being honest. I couldn't afford nothing, no way. I was so broke. So I could not afford it if I even thought about it. And at that time, I was too scared to tell my mom. So I was like, I'm not telling my mama to help me try to figure this thing out. But on top of that, it wasn't as much information it is today. And at the end of the day, and I'm a strong believer in mindset, I have told myself, if I can't get rid of it, it's still, the fact that I can't get rid of it, or there's no way that I can feasibly get rid of it at this time, I'm going to learn how to live with it, and my life will never change. So I got so stuck on, I'm not going to let this take me out. I'm going to live the life I want to live. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have the children. I'm going to live the life I want to live, and nothing's going to stop me. And that's been the mindset ever since. Now that all this information, now the beauty of YouTube, guys, and Google, now we have all this information. Now I can do all that stuff. But I'm telling you, I have had the mindset that herpes ain't changed my life. So I'm looking like, cure for what now? I'm being honest. And y'all may not agree. And honestly, I don't care if you do. But I'm telling you my standpoint. If you want to be cured, and I'm going to have another video. If you want to be cured, tell y'all, if anybody have ever reached out to me about a cure, I support you 110%. Because I truly do believe it's one. It's a cure for everything. It ain't never a point where we can't cure it. But the thing is, you must be disciplined, which most people will not be. I love people, but most people are not even disciplined what they put in their mouths, okay? I'm better now from the time I had my herpes, or the herpes cure video. Before, I loved eating, y'all, but now I've been juicing. As y'all can see, the girl lost some weight and all this stuff like that because I juice now. And I feel so much better even though I fall on and off. But my whole thing is I take more care of myself now, where I don't even have outbreaks like that. I'm not gonna lie, I think I had an outbreak in the beginning of the year, but I haven't had one in a while because I changed my lifestyle. I'm working out, not as much as I should. I'm not gonna boast like, oh my God, I work out every day. I don't. Okay, but I make sure I be very cautious of what I put in my mouth than I was just a year or so ago when I did that video. And y'all may not see me in another year and I may be so much farther, you know, but I feel like everything's a mindset. And I feel like for you to cure yourself, you have to have a set mindset that it's going to take you some time. And if you want to do it, you be patient with yourself and make sure you have people who respect what you want to do and support you through it. Because this is going to be a very difficult road at times and you need to have support. And y'all know me, I'm going to support you 100% in it. And I know so many ladies that are in my group right now who are doing it. They're doing it. They are working it out. But they're telling how difficult it can be too. And this is not to discourage you. This is to give you the honest, goddamn truth. It's the honest truth. Let's talk from the people who have it, not from the people who say they don't. Let's talk from the people who are going through the process. I know people going through, it's not an easy process at all because you really have to change your life all around. And you start to learn that you have health issues. Most of us are very young and you realize that you have a lot of health issues, or you had health issues prior that made living with herpes 10 times worse. So my whole thing is I want y'all to know that I support y'all. I am not against it. I truly believe in it. But for me, with my mindset and then the time that I was in this and when I found out I had herpes, I had no choice at that given moment but to tell myself to get over it. And you're going to live a life you want to live regardless. You don't have to choose that. You can choose to say, you know what? I'm going to cure myself. I'm going to do everything I need to do. But in the midst of this, and I'm going to tell you, in the midst of this, you still got to accept where you are until that happens for you. Because at the end of the day, like I said, this is a road that it takes time. And if it don't go as fast as you want it to go, it can piss you off. I'm just going to be on lie. A lot of girls I know are getting a little frustrated with the process. And I'm telling y'all, if you're just banking on just curing yourself, you're just going to be frustrated at times because it takes time. That's anybody, whoever, if you know anybody who had cancer. My grandma had breast cancer. And yes, she believed in being cured. But she also knew, I'm going to accept where I am at this given moment. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to let them do what they need to do. I'm going to, number one, do what I need to do and change my mind. Excuse me. You're being, no. Get out. I'm sorry, y'all. He just chooses to want to crush ice when I'm doing the video. 8-year-old. That's attention seeking. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know me. I'm going to be a mama regardless of the fact. But at the end of the day, it's just like they're getting very frustrated. And like I said, my grandma just knew that I knew I'm going to be cured one day, but let me just accept that the fact that I have this, that this is where I am in life, but this does not have to be my life. And what I tend to hear a lot of women like, I'm going to cure this thing and it's the end all be all, blah, 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 blah. But you're still suffering in the process before you even get there. You don't know how long it's going to take. It may take you 3 months. It may take another girl 6. Some may a year. It just depends on their dedication level. But in the process, why be miserable while you wait on your healing? A lot of us are very miserable before we get what we want. And you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Living with herpes until you find your mate, it doesn't have to be a miserable wait. You know, waiting to have children with your mate don't have to be a miserable wait. But it's all about how you think. It's all about how you think. All of this goes around your thinking. All of it. All of it. All right? So I wanted to share that because thank you, Real Creator, for asking that question. And I want to know who's doing the detox. My whole thing is, like I said, I know a couple of people who are doing it and I cannot wait. I'm not going to lie, guys. I cannot wait till somebody cure themselves. Honestly, I cannot wait because I'm going to be the first one to get on YouTube like, yup, this what they did to the T, 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 to the T. And I'm put it out there. I'm going to put it out there, you know, but until I know for a fact all this information is true for you guys, I'm never going to say y'all, oh yeah. And y'all had come to me, people like, do you think this is right? I said, I believe it. I do, but I haven't heard nobody cure themselves from it that I know. And I've been in the community for a while. I'm not going to take, oh, I said I'm cured No, I need to know you. I need to know your process. And that's why I'm so happy that it's women in my group that I have counseled before or coached before are doing it. So now I can say, I don't know her from this point. I know her from that point, and I know what she did from the T to the T, and this works. Okay. So I hope they help with y'all, but that's me. I'm trying to understand the IgG and the IgM. I already did a video on that. Go and do that video. That video is a good bit. It's long, but go into detail in that video, okay? I've been so depressed. Depression comes in so many forms. You being depressed can be pertaining to many things. I can't really speak on that because your depression could be so many things for you. It could be so many. It may not just be herpes alone. It could be many things. And I think sometimes we need to sit back and ask ourselves, what am I really depressed about? If you cannot tell me what you're depressed about, and you don't have to say it here, it's nobody's business. But if you can't pinpoint everything you're depressed about or what's causing your depression, you really don't know. And it's very important to know where your depression root from so you can attack the root. But if you can just say, oh, I think it's herpes or it's this and this, that, you need to know for a fact what's causing your depression. And many of us who deal with depression have no clue what you're really fully depressed about. And you need to figure that out. If you want to heal from depression, or I won't even say fully heal, but if you want to learn how to manage your depression, manage, because depression is a mental thing. If you want to manage your depression, you need to figure out what causes your depression, okay? To the full. Not just one thing, but whatever else that may cause you and trigger you there, okay? How did you know that you have herpes? I had an outbreak and I went to go get tested. How was your pregnancy journey while you had genital herpes? Honestly, I was scared out my mind. I thought about, oh my God, I think I'm going to get my baby herpes. And that's Hayden. That's the one who was in here crushing ice. I was scared, because I had to go to the doctor, and literally one of the girls in there was a student. And I mean, I didn't know her, but I know her now. It's kind of crazy. But she was like, do you have any STDs? I'm like, I have herpes. And she said, what did you say? I said, I have herpes. She's like, okay, no biggie. And she just wrote it down or whatever. And then after that, I had another lady who I guess looked at my chart, and I was in the lobby. And she was like, oh, so do your partner has herpes? And I was like, no. She was like, oh, he'll get it eventually. Who said he's going to get it eventually? It pissed me off so bad I wanted to hit that white lady in the face. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to take her clean to the floor. Because at the end of the day, number one, that's not true that he's not going to automatically get it. And then another thing, this is not a conversation that you have in the open. I'm in here for my pregnancy. I'm not in here for herpes. And at that, it saddened me because it's supposed to be in a Christian place, so it made me feel some type of way. I'm going to be honest. Let me keep it all the way real with y'all. It made me feel some type of way. I felt so disrespected in so many ways because she just did not care about my rights. I feel like she should have took me to the back and asked me those things. But like I said, I never got any. And other than that, I was just scared. My doctors were great. My nurses were great. Nobody made me feel any ill way except that lady. And when I first found out, my doctor was great. You know, they checked me. They asked me, you know, oh, Miss Spivey, do you want anybody in the room to know? I was like, no. And they made everybody walk out the room and asked me if I had any outbreaks and things like that. And I said no. And they checked me multiple times before I went to labor. When I was at my 36 weeks, they say, hey, you know, Miss Spivey, it's best for you to get on to antidepressants. Not antidepressants. I'll rebuke that. But then antidepressants. And I was like, okay, you know, I didn't really know anything about it at the moment. At that time, I wasn't taking anything because I wasn't having as many outbreaks. But I took it because I was like, I don't know. This is my first pregnancy. I'm really stressed. Things are going on. I'm in school full time. I'm working 3 jobs. You know, me and my baby daddy ain't getting along. All this other stuff was going on at that time. And I was really, 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 really stressed. So I was like, you know what? I might as well take the medicine. And I did take the medicine. And I was fine. I had my son vaginally and everything was fine. I didn't have any issues at all. That's not everybody's story, and I'm not going to lie, that is not everybody's story. But I was pretty much upfront with my doctors coming out the gate that I had herpes. I didn't let them figure it out with the first STD testing. Guys, don't wait until they test you. And I want to be honest, every OBGYN do not test you for herpes. They just don't. And it sounds like, oh my God, they should test you for everything. That's not true. If they don't feel like it's important, they're not going to test you for it. So I think it's very important that you make sure your OB is even testing you for those things. If you're watching my video and you never, you know, you don't have herpes, make sure you're pregnant, make sure you're asking your OB if that's included in your testing. And also, if you're reading your herpes test, make sure as we know, most times, some people, I don't see many tests. It don't say herpes. It have herpes simplex virus or have HSV1, HSV2. Many people don't know what HSV is. Some people think it's HPV or whatever because we see that all HIV and if it's all say negative, you don't think nothing of it. So make sure you ask your doctor, do you test for that? Even if you have herpes, you also want to ask, what's included in the STD test? And I just want to know what's all included. And you tell your doctor, hey, I have herpes, whatever. If you have oral herpes, you don't really have to, they're going to find out anyway in your test. But that's not regarding your vaginal birth. It does not, it's very important to share that information. Heavily share that information if you have, like I said, if you have oral, close your ears. It has nothing to do with you. You have no worries when it comes to giving birth to your child if you have oral herpes. Like, you don't have any concerns. Your only concern is when your child comes out and considering kissing your child and things of that nature. Like I tell you guys, it's very, very risky. I will tell you, if you're having any symptoms at all, do not kiss your child at all. Because we know it's very, very dangerous. And this virus can kill your child. I'm being honest. Because your baby can't fight that off. So, be very, very careful. Now, I'm not telling you not to kiss your child. But I'm telling you to know your body good enough to know when not to kiss your child. Okay? And, yeah. If you have genital herpes, then that is very important to stress that to your doctor. So if they want to give you medicine going towards the end of your labor, you want to make sure they're checking you and all this stuff and making sure all your nurses are sure and know what they're looking for and things like that. And even if you feel like you're having an outbreak during your pregnancy, during your labor, you need to say something to your nurse and say something to your doctor. Like, I feel like I'm having an outbreak. And what they're going to do, they're going to check you and make sure. Like I said, they don't know what your outbreak look like you do. So if you know you for a fact that you're having an outbreak, make sure you tell them so you can go ahead and have a C-section. Like I said, your baby would be fine, things like that. But you never want to put your child in risk if you know for a fact that you're having an outbreak at the time. No, nobody wants to have a C-section. But at the end of the day, you're going to keep your baby safe. And that's the most important thing, okay? You're right. This is the hardest thing I ever done. But I know it's possible. Absolutely. I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. Hi. Okay, you being fancy, Mr. Creator. My whole thing is, look, if you're doing all this, you better share all the goods now. Share all the goods now. When stuff start changing for you, don't leave me out. Tell me what's going on. You know me. I am the reporter. I will tell it. I will absolutely tell it. All right? I will absolutely tell it. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody have any more questions? Questions? You're welcome, sweetie. You're welcome. You're welcome. I just wanted to kind of give us a synopsis of what herpes really is, because we kind of like freak out a lot, but when you start really learning more about it and knowing the things you need to know, it makes things better. Is misdiagnosis a real thing? Absolutely, boo. Absolutely. I'm so happy you brought this up. Absolutely. It happens all the time. I think this is one of the main reasons a lot of people are getting contracting herpes, because most people, they go to their doctor and their doctor look at it and it doesn't look like a cluster of bumps. It doesn't look like blisters. It doesn't look like none of that. And they tell them, that's not herpes. First of all, you can't tell me what it is without testing it. And I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of friends who are doctors. I have a lot of friends who are nurses. But my whole thing as patients, don't let them just tell you what they think it look like. Make them test it. They want to get their money. Make them get their money. No, you're going to swab this because I don't know what it is. Don't I think it. Who cares what you think? What do you know? You know what we know what you know? Give me that test. That swab will tell me what it really is. Okay? So my whole thing, please. It happens, guys. It happens to people all the time. Or what can happen is they think it's herpes and it's not. Or they don't think it's, they think it's herpes, but it's not herpes. Or it's herpes and they don't think it's herpes. Because it don't look the same. Like I told y'all earlier, it can look like cuts, like clean cuts. It can look like pimples. It can look like when you shave, that rash that you get, it can be like jock itch. It can look like abrasions. It can look like so many other things. I want y'all to understand. And you may not have any of that. You may just have a lot of discharge. You may have like excruciating pain in your legs and you don't understand why your legs are on fire. You don't understand why your back burns so bad. All of this other stuff like that. So my whole thing is, just because they don't think it is, it doesn't matter what they think it is. Tell them to test you. I tell y'all, your intuition is strong. And if you feel like that may be it, say, hey, test me for herpes. And if they tell you no, that's fine. I'll go to another doctor. You ain't got to test me. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going somewhere else. But my whole thing, I'm a strong believer. Your intuition don't lie to you. Most of us who have herpes now know for a fact, based off tests and outbreaks or whatever, have it, know for a fact, because we was like, I feel it, I know it, and I know this is what it is. And you got your test and you were like, dang, I knew it. Because I knew. Okay, I knew it. And when my friend told me, which was in nursing school at the time, she was like, Belize, that's what it is, you know. But my whole thing is, guys, just because your doctors see it all the time, we got to remember they are human beings, y'all. They are human beings. They go based off what they see every day. And sometimes stuff look different. And I want y'all to understand that stuff look different on everybody. I don't want you to think what it looked like on me look like that on you, or look like that on anybody else who's on this live with us. It don't. It absolutely don't, okay? All right. Did you tell everyone in your family? No, I ain't feel like it was necessary. I feel like some stuff is not necessary to tell your family. Your family love you, but your family could be your worst enemy sometimes. I feel like if you know you have a close-knit family and you and your family are really supportive, share it. Most important, I say, if you share it with anybody, it's your parents, because they're going to have your back regardless of the fact. But that's not the case for everybody. But I'm just saying, if you know you have a decent relationship with your family or your parents, share it with your parents. But if your family is shady, keep your business to yourself, because they ain't never going to let you live it down. I didn't even tell my mom in the beginning because I knew how my mom was. I didn't want to hear her mouth. She found out on social media like everybody else. And they got over it. Now my mom support me to the 1,000 power, because she know I'm serious about it. That happened to me. To urgent care, they gave me a script for something, and it was, does the outbreaks hurt? No. Yes and no. Everybody's different. Outbreaks don't hurt for everybody. Some people, they be like, I don't even realize I have it. Okay, so I don't want y'all to think that what comes from looking at Google and sometimes the YouTube videos or something like that, or reading articles telling you it hurt. That's not true. It doesn't always hurt for everybody. Okay, clear, but then later call and it was. Okay, cool. Like I said, at least that was the case for you. But I know many people who think that's what it is, and they come back to me and they say, Belize, that's not what it is. It was this, that, and it was something I never heard of. Okay, I acquired two in my 40s, and I'm so angry at myself. It makes me feel like I'll be single forever for the rest of my life. You know what? You better not tell me you're going to be single for the rest of your life. How can you say that? And I show you all the time that you can be with somebody. Like, literally, come on. You know you don't have to be single. My whole thing, your mindset will keep you where you are. Your mindset will keep you there. If you believe you're going to be single all your life, for the rest of your life, you will. And I don't want that for you. But you don't have to. Just like I said earlier, I made up in my mind that herpes is not, if I'm going to have this for the rest of my life is going to be great still. Still. It's people who don't have arms and legs and living a better life than you. Look, y'all, this thing do not shut you down. It's a mental thing. And most of us have mental problems. And it's not in a mean way, but we don't even know how to control our mental state. And then when herpes coming along, it really screw us up. It really screw us up because you couldn't control your mind before. And now you really can't control your mind now because you're scared about what other people think of you. Okay? All right. I'm not getting off here. I got to go get my charger. Yay. Wherever that is. Where did I put it? Anybody got any more questions? Y'all can ask y'all questions while I get this charger. Where did I put my charger, y'all? Hey, where's my charger? Is it in the kitchen? Okay, thank you. Oh, I got it.
I knew it was in the kitchen.
Thank you. Move. All right, y'all. All right, any more questions? Hey, and flick that light on. And close it.
You mean flick this light on?
Yeah, turn it on. No, that's the wrong light. Yeah, and close that up for me. Okay. All right. I had to get my charger or we're going to be dead, y'all. All right. Hey, and I said close the cabinet. I meant the cabinet, sweetie, not the blind. The cabinet. I didn't tell you that exactly. I'm sorry. Your first outbreak is the worst. That's not always true either. I mean, I know many people who had their first outbreak and it wasn't even that bad. They didn't realize they had it. Oh, wow. Great information. I'm going to go to a new OB. Good. You're awesome for posting these videos and screens. Most people shy away from the subject even if they have it. So you definitely have my vote. I hope to one day share your courage. You will. You will. When you cure this thing, man, you're going to be besties. For real. Because I'm going to put you right next to me and like, tell them. You better tell them. You better tell them. Then we got to disappear because they're going to try to kill us or something. and get a blood test, yeah, like mine. I have herpes for the last 3 years and it doesn't detect anyone. If it's just like a flicker, I probably have one shit scare, but I always let them know the truth. If you're genuine this small. Do you think that having some kind of small pimple? Do you think they having some kind of small pimples on you? You gotta ask me that question again. I'm kind of. Every pimple is different. Like I said, sometimes it's pimples, sometimes it's herpes. You have to swab it and find out. That's the only thing. Can your doctors test you by your blood? Yes, they can. Many will not tell you that, but they can. And that's the IgG test and the IgM. And it's very important to do both tests. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you can do both. You can do both. No, they cannot be cured, but it can be controlled. Okay, facts. Mindset is everything. You just read my life. I love you. I love you. So I want to always keep it real with you, and I want the best for you. And I want you to be happy, guys. I want y'all to be happy. You can be happy. I promise you. I'm in a great relationship right now, okay? Amazing. He is very supportive. All right? Thank you for making this channel. Oh, thanks. People thought we wouldn't fly or use our mind to heal, but look at us now. Don't ever believe anything isn't possible. You need to do your research. Correct. Oh, is IgG test the same as the IgM test? I talked about that. No. They're same blood tests, but they tell two different things. And I'm going to go a little bit brief into it. So the IgG test lets you know if you have had the virus in your system, the antibodies in your system, or DNA in your system for 12 to 16 weeks. IgG lets you know if it's most recent. So what tends to happen for some people it say IgG may pop up and say they have herpes, and IgG will pop up and say they have herpes, but IgM will not because it's not most recent, or it'll be flipped. So, like I said, it's not a bad thing to take both, but you need to understand what these tests are. And that's why they always say it's not good to do an IgM test because it's not really that accurate, but it is accurate if you just found out you have herpes, and things of that nature. Larry, really, babe? You gonna jump on my video? Okay, do you think that having some kind of small pimples on your chest, do you think those are herpes, basically? It could just be pimples, baby. That's all I can think. Like, they can just be pimples. Do you shave? That comes into play. If you're really hairy, that comes into play. It could simply be hair bumps, things of that nature. But like I said, if you think that's what it is, like I said earlier, you can have outbreaks in the weirdest places. Like I said, it's skin to skin contact. So it's very important to, if you feel like that's what it is, just go get tested. Just go get tested. Sorry for posting so much. LOL. These have turned into a kind of a hobby or passion of mine to research about. So that's why you need to do a video. You did? Open a YouTube. I'll be your first subby. Do a YouTube, because the other thing about it is it's time for people who have the virus to talk about the virus. I'm not against anybody who talks about the virus and give us information, but I want us to talk about it because we hold more weight. We live the life. We understand the struggles. People want to hear from people they can relate to. Okay? Will you be my Yes, I'm your cold drink. Stop playing. LOL facts. I worked in healthcare and didn't know the difference between the tests. That just helped me a lot. See, that's the thing. Like, this is happening to so many people where they're in the industry and they don't know. A lot of the ladies in my group are in the health field and they don't know half of this stuff and they can't believe that they have the virus. And this is what they do every day. But I feel like it's a beauty for you to know this stuff. So now when you're in the field, you have the ability to kind of share a little bit more information with people and you can help people through it. What if I think my child may have it? Is testing 8-year-old necessary? Let me tell you something. And I mean, if it's a cold sore, it's nothing wrong. Go get tested. Go get tested. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But my whole thing is, and this may sound weird, going to the doctor and telling them that your child have herpes is not going to be fully accepted. I'm going to be honest. They're going to look at you like, what? Now, if you go in there and say, you know, I think my son and my daughter or whatever have cold sores. Is there anything I can do? Can you swab it and look at it, whatever? Then they'll be a little bit more accepting. But if you go in and say, I think my child got herpes, they're going to look at you like you beyond crazy. And I know it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to use the correct terminology and things of that nature. But people are weird. They are just weird. So, yeah, it's fine. You can go and get your child tested. And when you get them tested, worst case scenario, they can give them medicine. I know a young lady, her son has it as well. They can give them medicine, and then you can also start doing natural remedies and teaching your child, if they do have it, to, you know, how to treat themselves as well. Okay? Anybody have any more questions or concerns? Anyone? All right, guys. So I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit of everything. I'm excited about the videos that I will be doing within this month. They're going to be life-changing because I'm going to talk about the things that nobody really wants to talk about. I'm going to get on the topics that you be thinking about it and nobody talking about it. And if you want me to talk about something, please inbox me or post it, and I will. I see my kid that they itch all the time around their body. Your child can have eczema. They can have so many. My son has really bad eczema around his neck and on his arms and stuff around certain season. So I will say, don't assume everything is herpes. Don't assume, because right now I can see that you're kind of scared and you're thinking that it's that. That may not be the case, baby. Your baby can have a skin condition, and you need to go get them tested. Okay, I will make one, but I don't want to die. Trying to get over that. You're right. I'm with you. Like, that's the risk of sharing this type of information. You kind of disappear. Yeah, you kind of disappear. That's the scary part about it. But I feel like if you feel like you want to do something that's going to change lives, you can make the risk. You can take the risk. I say do it yourself. That's why I'm a strong believer. Doing stuff yourself and talking about it. But just talking about it is all good and dandy. But you're going to kill me and I cured myself. But I just told the whole world too. You know, that is true. Sometimes I think that I pass it to them. Don't think that. You need to go get them tested and find out what's really going on. Don't assume. Putting that in your mind is going to make you feel like you're the worst parent ever. And that's not true. You're an amazing parent. You got to also understand that your children come in contact with other children all day long. They come in contact with other adults all day long. It's skin-to-skin contact. They could have got it from anywhere if that's the case. Don't always assume it's you. Do HPV and HSV go hand in hand? Absolutely not. They're two different things. Two different things. HPV, certain strands can cause cervical cancer for women. And it also can cause cancer for men. And it can kill you. Certain strands. Also, certain strands cause genital warts as well. HSV is type 1, type 2 herpes simplex virus. And they don't cause those type of issues. They're two different things. And then also with HSV, men and women can get tested. HPV, men cannot be tested for HPV at all, which is crazy, which men are getting it and they don't know it and they're passing it to people. But it's no way to test. And sometimes the virus just go away on its own. It's not really much treatment other than, you know, getting the vaccine when you're really young and preventing from getting the most deadliest strands. So women, HPV, we are tested for HPV when we go get our pap smears. That's why pap smears are very important. Okay? Hey, baby. It's Junior. Say hi. He just woke up, y'all. Any more questions, y'all? But yeah, so I'm excited. As y'all know, I have something cooping up. I'm cooping something up for us. So whoever is in Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, things of that nature, or who willing to travel, I'm about to tell y'all to save a date. Thursday, I'm going to talk about it more, but I'm just trying to get some things organized for it. But I want y'all to save a date because I'm about to start something really fun. And I want us to really get involved. It will include, no, sweetie, not right now. It will include men and women. I don't want to leave my men out no more. I have men who follow me and want to talk to me and things like that. So you'll have the opportunity to take advantage of this opportunity as well. But I just want you to know, watch out, because I'm about to come out with some good information that I think will be really fun for all of us. And on top of that, guys, as we know, this Friday, we having the bi-weekly support group. That support group is private. Number one, I want y'all to know it is private. And it is a video conference on Zoom. So you'll get to talk to us. Everybody gets to see each other. Or you don't have to show your face. I don't want you to think you have to. And we'll talk. This week, we're talking about I am sick of these outbreaks. Like, I'm sick of them. And I know it's something a lot of y'all want to talk about, which I will be doing a video on. But I just wanted us to talk about that because I'm running into a lot of people who are having frequent outbreaks. And I just want everybody to share how they're getting through that, okay? Getting through that. What do you know about the vaccine and work for herpes? Okay, so what I know about that is that we're at a standstill. As we know, the young man who was working on this was a scientist. He ended up getting really sick and he died last year. I think, yeah, last year or the year before. And it was last year. He died last year. And he was really close. He had already started doing human testing and things of that nature. And it was working. The person was not having any outbreaks. The guy even came out and stated that he wasn't having any outbreaks, that the vaccine worked for him. But what found out is he did not get approval by the FDA to start doing human testing. So when you don't do things by the FDA, they get pissed, okay? They get a little mad at you, and they kind of slow your process down. So we're still at the human process, but I don't know how far it's going to go because now that person is gone. He's not here anymore to kind of push it on. A lot of people kind of still want to work on it and things of that nature, but I'm praying that somebody pick up that work and go from there, whoever was working with them. But you know, the FDA kind of got their foot on it a little bit now. But as I know, it's some other vaccines that's happening in other countries. But we know government, our government and their governments are two different things. But yeah, that's really what's going on. It's kind of like at a standstill, but I think it's still work in it. It's just the fact that the creator is gone. So that kind of just like, what do we do now? What do we do now? I appreciate the information. Keep up the good work. I will. They'll be forever testing and releasing those vaccines. Got to take into your own hands and understand the relationship between. Okay. Got you. Look, if you do not create a YouTube page, I swear, me and you gonna fight. I need you to create a YouTube page just to share this type of information. Break it down, man. That's not my forte, okay? I don't do the breaking down of the virus. I hate biology, y'all, to the T. I just got out of school. I don't like that. I'm here to encourage you guys and help y'all with your mental state. That's me. And then Real Creator, I need y'all to go follow him and inbox him or something to get all that information if you want it, okay? Mr. Creator, a Real Creator, I'm going to have to put you on my team, bro. You got some info. You know the stuff that I don't fully know. I don't know all that to the T, okay? Well, all right, guys. I love you guys. Like, y'all know where to find me. If y'all need me Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will be here with you guys. If you need to talk to me privately, you know where to find me. I have my private sessions you can take a part of. Like I said, I have so many. Got 20-minute session. We have couple sessions. We have hourly sessions. And you also have overcoming coaching with me, which you can do for a month or 2 months with me if you feel fit to want to do it with me. I also have my private bi-weekly support group sessions that I have, and I also have my private support group that is on Facebook that is private just for women at the moment. So you guys, all that stuff are in the description box. Take advantage of it if you feel like you need it. If you just want to continue to watch me, just keep watching me and keep liking the videos. Guys, guess what? We got 10,000 subbies. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I was so excited when I see this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I cannot believe it, guys. I did not want to create this page, and now I got 10,000 people who follow my page. That was like, oh, Jesus, look at you doing your thing. I was so excited, guys. Y'all just don't know. That was just like, oh, they're watching and they're listening. That was just life-changing for me. Between that and getting my million views really hit me hard. I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to do this, and I'm so happy I did, because look, people are listening. I'm changing lives. I'm making an influence, and I hope I'm impacting y'all as much as y'all are impacting me. I just really hope that the information I'm giving y'all, helping y'all, and it's letting y'all get through it. You don't have to ever do a session with me or talk to me or get in my support groups or anything, but I hope to God that I changed your life in some way, and that was an answered prayer. So I love y'all, and I'll be seeing y'all next Tuesday, because y'all know the video that's coming up this week is on me and Crystal. It's me and Crystal video. So I love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.